Welcome to Charette Theory, where spaces breathe, seasons linger, and design becomes a quiet dialogue between you and your home. Today, we're stepping inside a Japanese-inspired kitchen crafted to cradle early autumn in every gesture, a space that doesn't just warm your meals but calms your mind and anchors your mornings in a deeper sense of seasonal awareness. Over the next hour, we'll wander deeper into this tranquil space, from the materials and layout to the ambient lighting and seasonal accents that make this kitchen feel alive yet grounded. So stay with us as we unfold each element, layer by layer, to help you design your own kitchen that carries the zen of warmth into the first crisp days of fall. Before we jump in, if you love exploring inspiring design ideas and architectural stories, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss out on what's coming next. Alright, let's get into it. Imagine it's early September. Outside, the first hints of gold are brushing the maple leaves, and the air feels like a cool hush after summer's chatter. You slip into this kitchen just as dawn breaks. The shoji screens diffuse the new light into soft, milky panels. There's a faint aroma of toasted rice and miso soup drifting through the space, mingling with the earthy scent of hinoki wood. This is where the design begins, with a sense of welcome so subtle you almost feel it more than see it. In this opening sequence, we'll explore how the core principles of Japanese interior design, simplicity, natural materials, and mindful flow, come together to shape a kitchen that gently transitions your home into autumn. Notice the clean lines of the cabinetry, crafted in warm ash or oak, unadorned but alive with texture. The open shelving holds handmade ceramic bowls, each slightly imperfect, reminding you that beauty is found in the organic, the unfinished, the Wabi Sabi that gives soul to space. Here, the flooring is not just a surface, it's an invitation to slow down. Tatami-inspired mats might run beneath your feet near the dining nook, softening each step and encouraging you to linger. Light filters through bamboo blinds, dancing on stone counters polished to a soft mat that feels cool to the touch in the morning, warmer as the sun shifts. This kitchen doesn't just stand still, it breathes with the season. A single branch of early autumn leaves, arranged in a simple vase by the window, echoes the shifting colors outside. A kettle sits ready on a small gas burner or induction cooktop, waiting to pour the first cup of green tea into your favorite clay cup. This is what a Japanese kitchen can do for early autumn. It reminds you that warmth is not only found in heat but in harmony. It is not crowded with unnecessary things. There is storage, but it's hidden, discreet. Open surfaces remain calm, allowing you to prepare meals with attention and clarity. The scent of dashi broth simmering on the stove, the quiet click of wooden chopsticks resting on a tray, these small rituals become part of the architecture, shaping not only the kitchen but your experience of it. As we step further into this early autumn kitchen, we begin to notice what truly holds its warmth, not just the literal heat of the stove, but the quiet comfort woven through each material choice and color tone. This section is about understanding how those foundations create an atmosphere that makes chilly mornings and crisp evenings feel inviting rather than stark. First, let's talk about the palette. In a Japanese-inspired kitchen that welcomes autumn, the colors are rarely loud. They hum gently in the background, soft whites, warm grays, pale woods, muted greens, and subtle earth tones. It's not about monotony but harmony, allowing each surface and object to breathe. You won't find glossy finishes or bright synthetic hues here. Instead, think of finishes that invite touch: satin, matte, raw wood grain that still feels alive under your fingertips. Look at the cabinetry, perhaps it's crafted from ash, birch, or cedar. The wood is left lightly stained, revealing its knots and fine lines. It might be paired with dark stone countertops, soapstone, honed granite, or even a warm concrete that feels naturally robust. If your kitchen has an island, it's not oversized and imposing but proportionate, maybe even movable, doubling as a prep table when needed. Next, the flooring under your feet. Traditional Japanese homes use tatami mats and wood planks. In a modern adaptation, warm timber floors or bamboo panels can bring that same softness to your steps. The key is warmth underfoot, both visually and physically. Radiant heating under wooden floors is a quiet luxury that aligns with the idea of seasonal comfort. Tile work, too, carries the same intention. Instead of glossy white subway tiles, imagine handmade clay tiles, each one slightly different in tone, arranged in a subtle grid behind the stove. They catch the light in irregular ways, adding depth without screaming for attention. Beyond the hard surfaces, textiles bring another layer of warmth. A simple linen curtain over a lower cabinet, a woven runner on the floor, or cotton noran drapes hung between spaces, all invite a sense of softness and movement. These small details might seem humble, but they transform a kitchen from purely functional to deeply personal. Finally, consider the small but powerful role of seasonal decor. In early autumn, a branch of red maple, a small basket of freshly picked mushrooms, or a ceramic dish holding roasted chestnuts on the counter connects the kitchen to what's happening outside. These moments of nature root the design in the present, reminding you that this space evolves with each passing week. In a Japanese kitchen, the materials do not just serve you, they speak to you. They age gracefully. They collect memories. A wooden countertop develops a patina from years of tea spills and knife marks. Clay bowls show tiny hairline cracks that make them more beautiful with time. These are not flaws, they're evidence that your kitchen is a living space, not a showroom. So as you imagine your own early autumn sanctuary, think about how each surface, each color, and each natural element can quietly hold warmth, not by adding clutter but by being honest, tactile, and alive. In the next section, we'll explore how layout and flow deepen this sense of calm, so you can move, cook, and share meals in a space that feels like an extension of your thoughts. that we've absorbed the quiet warmth of materials and color, let's shift our focus to how this kitchen actually works, how it guides you, supports you, and shapes your everyday rituals without ever getting in your way. In a Japanese-inspired kitchen designed for early autumn, the layout isn't about showing off open space for its own sake, it's about encouraging purposeful movement. Each zone flows into the next zone naturally that you rarely think about what comes next, you simply do it. Preparing food becomes a small meditation rather than a chore. Start with the work triangle, the relationship between the sink, the stove, and the refrigerator. In Western kitchens, this triangle is often large, spanning several steps. But in a Japanese kitchen, efficiency is key. The distance is compact but never cramped. You should be able to pivot easily from washing vegetables to slicing them at the counter, then dropping them gently into a pot bubbling away on the stove. Storage, too, is designed to be close and intuitive. Deep drawers for rice and noodles, shelves for stacked bento boxes, cubbies for bamboo steamers and clay pots, all hidden behind seamless panels. Sliding doors and pocket cabinets mean you never have to swing open heavy doors that block pathways or clash with each other. Everything tucks away, maintaining that serene visual calm even when the kitchen is busy. And then there's the dining space, often integrated, rarely separate. Maybe it's a low table just beyond the prep area, surrounded by floor cushions or simple wooden chairs. Or perhaps it's a built-in breakfast nook under a window framed by shoji screens. In early autumn, this is where you'll linger with a warm bowl of miso soup or a pot of tea steeping in the center, steam drifting gently upward as cool air swirls outside. Circulation is never forced. Hallways and doorways align naturally, allowing light and air to move freely. Even the placement of windows matters, they frame a view of the garden, a corner of the yard, or a single bonsai tree, reminding you that even as you cook, you remain connected to the world beyond these walls. This flow isn't just physical, it's mental. You know where things are. You know how to reach for what you need without hesitation. There's a kind of invisible choreography that invites you to cook slowly, clean as you go, and tidy up without stress. This, too, is warmth, the warmth of a space that doesn't demand energy from you but returns it. And what about modern elements? Yes, they have a place here. Induction cooktops that hum quietly, compact dishwashers that slip behind cabinet panels, energy-efficient refrigerators with simple facades that don't compete for attention. Technology is welcome but restrained, integrated rather than dominating. By the way, if you're enjoying this so far, please give it a like, it really helps more design lovers find Charette Theory. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, we've got a lot more ideas coming your way. Now, back to the details. A Japanese kitchen for early autumn is about balance. It balances function and emotion, old and new, utility and poetry. The flow honors your daily habits while gently encouraging you to savor them more slowly. And when the meal is done, the space invites you to stay, to wash dishes with warm water while a window cracked open lets in the scent of fallen leaves. In our next section, we'll explore the heart of sensory warmth, how lighting, sound, and subtle seasonal cues make this kitchen feel like a cocoon as the days grow shorter and the nights cool. So far, we've laid the groundwork: natural materials, calming colors, a layout that moves like water around rocks. Now, let's step into the invisible dimension that makes this kitchen truly alive as early autumn settles in: the subtle dance of light, the hush of background sounds, and the quiet sensory details that turn daily routines into gentle rituals. First, light. In a Japanese-inspired kitchen, light is never harsh or single-sourced. Instead, it's layered. During the day, natural daylight is your foundation. Shoji screens, rice paper blinds, or simple linen curtains filter the sun, softening it into a glow that shifts as the hours pass. As morning light spills through, it illuminates your counters and floors in gradients rather than spotlights, calm, diffused, never glaring. When dusk arrives earlier in autumn, the lighting shifts in response. Warm pendant lights above the prep area cast a soft pull onto your cutting board. Under cabinet lights glow gently, enough to guide your hands without overwhelming the shadows. Maybe there's a single paper lantern above the dining nook, its warm orb creating an island of light where you can linger over a simple meal long after the sun dips below the trees outside. This interplay between natural and artificial light keeps your kitchen in tune with the season. It doesn't deny darkness, it honors it, tempers it, and makes it comforting. Now listen. Even sound has a role to play in a kitchen designed for early autumn warmth. It's not about filling the space with noise but letting the space breathe with subtle layers. The whisper of water running as you wash rice. The faint clatter of chopsticks against a ceramic bowl. The low simmer of miso or the click of a kettle finishing its boil. These small, organic sounds become the kitchen's heartbeat, a reminder that life here is present and unforced. Technology, if included, respects this hush. Appliances are selected for their quiet operation: a dishwasher that hums instead of rattles, a range hood that pulls away steam without roaring like an engine. This isn't about silence for silence's sake, it's about creating space for your thoughts to settle while you cook, wash, or simply stand by the window, watching a drizzle of rain tap softly on the garden path. Then come the seasonal layers, those tiny, intentional touches that make the kitchen feel grounded in early autumn. A small clay bowl of persimmons on the counter. A branch of ginkgo leaves tucked into a slender vase by the sink. Tea towels in shades of russet and moss green draped over the handle of a cabinet. A subtle incense, maybe sandalwood or hinoki, burning in the corner to warm the air with a woody, earthy note. All of these layers work together to create not just warmth but depth. A sensory quietness that lingers long after you've closed the fridge or wiped the counters. They remind you that your kitchen is more than a place for chores, it's a refuge, a hearth where the season settles not just outside your window but within your walls. And as autumn deepens, you'll notice how these small cues shift. Perhaps the branch of leaves becomes bare twigs. The fruit bowl changes from persimmons to mandarins. The light grows softer, the blankets on the breakfast nook bench grow thicker. Your kitchen breathes alongside you, adapting gently, never demanding, always offering calm. In our next section, we'll bring this sensory philosophy down to earth, exploring the practical storage and organization strategies that help keep the calm intact, even when daily life piles up around you. Warmth in a Japanese-inspired kitchen doesn't just live in wood grains or filtered light, it also lives in the quiet order that underpins the entire space. It's not about minimalism for aesthetic's sake but about creating clarity behind closed doors, drawers, and hidden shelves so that when you step into this kitchen on a crisp autumn morning, you feel held, not crowded by clutter. Let's begin with the cabinets. Open shelving is used sparingly, usually for the things that deserve to be seen: handmade bowls, a teapot, a stack of bamboo steamers. But everything else has its place, out of sight yet within reach. Drawers glide smoothly on hidden tracks, divided into sections that fit each tool precisely. Knives rest in a simple wooden block built into the drawer. Chopsticks, ladles, and small utensils have their own quiet compartments. Deep lower cabinets might hide pull-out bins for sorting recyclables, a nod to Japan's dedication to waste separation and sustainability. In one corner, a pantry cabinet slides open to reveal dry goods, rice stored in ceramic or metal canisters, miso and dried seaweed in neat glass jars, all labeled but never loud. No rainbow of plastic packaging here, instead, the storage itself becomes part of the calming atmosphere. Above the worktop, slender racks hold essentials like soy sauce, mirin, or a small bottle of sake. Maybe there's a narrow pull-out shelf by the stove for cooking oils and condiments. Nothing is left to crowd the counters unless it's in use, and even then, it feels intentional: a small cutting board leaning upright, a clay pot resting ready on the burner. Even larger appliances find their place in this quiet system. A microwave might be tucked into an undercounter niche behind a sliding wooden panel. The refrigerator stands silent, its door panels matching the cabinetry so it disappears into the background. This isn't about hiding for the sake of hiding. It's about preventing your eye from being jarred by visual noise when you crave calm. And what about daily mess? It happens, and a Japanese-inspired kitchen embraces that reality with grace. There's a drawer for dishcloths, a simple peg rail for hanging damp towels to dry. A deep sink with a removable cutting board insert keeps scraps corralled while you prep. Open bins near the prep area gather vegetable peelings for compost. When the meal is done, warm water and a soft brush make cleaning feel less like work and more like a pause to reflect on what just passed through your hands. This is the practical heart of warmth, storage that doesn't scold you into tidiness but makes it natural. When everything has a place, you don't have to think twice. You can return to that cup of tea, to the gentle steam rising from your soup pot, to the hush of early autumn drifting in through the open window. In our next section, we'll invite you to see how these ideas translate into a single day, a lived moment in this kitchen. Showing you how morning to evening unfolds when the space supports your pace, your rituals, and your seasonal mood. Now that we've explored the bones and breadth of this kitchen, its materials, flow, storage, and subtle sensory layers, let's step into a single day inside it. Imagine waking before sunrise on an early autumn morning. Outside, the garden holds the last warmth of summer while a cool hush drifts in through a barely cracked window. You pad across warm wooden floors in thick socks, the boards creaking softly under your feet. The kitchen greets you not with bright harshness but with a low, ambient glow, maybe a small paper lantern left on overnight by the dining nook. The kettle sits ready on the counter, its metal slightly cool to the touch. You fill it, listening to the quiet rush of water, the faint knock as you set it back onto the burner. The flame flickers to life with a muted click, even this sound is part of the ritual. You reach for a small clay cup, its glaze rough where your fingers wrap around it, smooth where your lips will meet it. Loose tea leaves wait in a simple tin. The air slowly warms as the kettle hums, steam drifting in gentle ribbons that catch the first light seeping through linen blinds. As the morning deepens, you move through breakfast preparation, rice warming in a clay pot, eggs beaten softly with chopsticks, miso paste stirred into broth that steams in a small pot beside the stove. Nothing feels hurried. Each step happens where it should. Storage drawers glide open and closed without slamming. Utensils rest where they belong, within reach but never in the way. Later in the day, maybe you return to this kitchen for a midday meal, something simple but nourishing, a bowl of soba, some pickled vegetables you prepared the night before, a few slices of fresh fruit arranged carefully on a ceramic plate. The kitchen stays calm because it was designed to hold this flow. The clean counters welcome your small messes and accept them without resistance. When you finish, wiping them down feels more like a gesture of gratitude than a chore. If you're enjoying this deep dive, go ahead and tap that like button. It lets YouTube know you'd like to see more videos from Charette Theory, and it really helps the channel grow. And if you're not part of the community yet, hit subscribe and ring the notification bell. There's plenty more inspiration coming your way. Alright, let's get back to it. As evening approaches, the kitchen shifts again. Outside, the sky turns that pale grey-blue so particular to early autumn evenings. You might light a small candle or switch on a paper lamp that pulls warm light in the corner. Dinner comes together slowly, maybe a hot pot at the table where family or friends gather on floor cushions, everyone leaning in toward the shared warmth. There's laughter, quiet conversation, steam fogging the Shoji screens as night settles outside. Someone washes a dish, someone else pours warm sake into small cups. The kitchen breathes with you through it all, its materials glowing softly in the lamplight, its surfaces welcoming the gentle wear that only adds to their story. By the time you switch off the last light, the kitchen feels ready to rest, clean but not sterile, warm but not crowded. You close the sliding door behind you, carrying that warmth into the rest of the house, knowing that tomorrow morning it will greet you again with the same calm, the same invitation to slow down and savor the new day. In our final section, we'll pull everything together, offering simple, practical takeaways so you can translate this vision into your own home, whether you live in a city apartment, a quiet suburban home, or a small cottage in the countryside. As we near the end of our time together, let's gather everything we've explored: the warmth of natural wood, the hush of soft lighting, the ease of hidden storage, the rituals that turn cooking into a mindful act, and ground it in your own reality. You don't need to live in a traditional Japanese house or rebuild your kitchen from the studs to invite this early autumn calm into your daily life. What matters most is intention, choosing small shifts that align your space with the feeling you want to carry through the season. Start with one corner. Maybe it's the countertop you clear of clutter, keeping only what you truly use: a kettle, a small pot, a favorite bowl of seasonal fruit. If you have open shelves, pair them back to display handmade pieces that feel alive in your hands: a ceramic mug, a wooden tray, a teapot with an imperfect glaze. Consider your materials. Could you swap a plastic cutting board for a wooden one? Replace bright overhead bulbs with softer, warm LED lights or a simple paper lantern. Lay down a small woven rug or a tatami-style mat to warm your feet as you stand by the stove on chilly mornings. Rethink your storage. It doesn't have to be a full cabinetry remodel, just a gentle reorganization. Use baskets or simple bins to corral dry goods. Transfer rice, beans, or tea into glass jars or ceramic canisters. Label them with handwriting rather than bright stickers. This tiny step alone can soften how your shelves greet you every day. Add a touch of seasonality. A branch of red leaves in a vase by the sink, a small bowl of chestnuts, a dish of persimmons on your table. These fleeting moments root your kitchen in time. They remind you that your home changes with the world outside your window, even if your walls stay the same. Pay attention to sound. Maybe you turn off the background TV while you cook and listen instead to the gentle boil of a pot or the soft click of your knife on a wooden board. If you like, play quiet ambient music, shakuhachi flute, the faint murmur of falling rain, to extend that sense of hush deeper into your routine. And remember, none of this needs to be done all at once. The beauty of a Japanese-inspired kitchen is that it reveals itself slowly, shaped by your habits over time. You might begin with better light. Then you might clear your counters. Then, a month later, you'll find yourself lighting a small candle on the windowsill just because it feels right on a cool autumn night. That's how warmth grows, not through big renovations or expensive purchases but through small gestures that accumulate into a gentle atmosphere, unique to you and your home. So here we are, at the quiet close of our time together, standing once more in this imagined kitchen where early autumn lives not only in the trees outside but in the calm that settles on your counters, your shelves, and your daily rituals. If you stand back now and look at this space, you'll see more than cabinetry and tiles. You'll see how each detail invites you to slow down and savor the everyday moments that so often slip through our fingers. This is where design and life meet, in a cup of tea poured slowly at dawn, in the steam rising from a pot of rice on a cool night, in the soft scrape of chopsticks gathering the last bite of a simple meal. A Japanese-inspired kitchen for early autumn isn't frozen in time, it's alive, changing quietly as the weeks drift by. Maybe you begin to notice how the morning light shifts across your counter as the sun dips lower in the sky each day. Maybe you place a small wooden stool by the window so you can sit while peeling persimmons or slicing daikon, letting the breeze brush your arm as it slips through a half-open screen. Perhaps you'll experiment with scent. In the heat of summer, your kitchen might have smelled faintly of fresh herbs and cool green tea. But now, as autumn deepens, maybe you burn a stick of sandalwood incense as you tidy up after dinner, the fragrance mingling with the earthy steam of broth left to simmer for tomorrow's lunch. These details don't ask for attention, they simply settle in, becoming the quiet pulse of your home. When you cook here, you're reminded that efficiency doesn't have to be rushed. The sharpness of a knife gliding through crisp root vegetables, the deliberate swirl of miso paste into clear dashi, these small actions connect you to the season, to the day's rhythm, and to yourself. And then there's the company you keep. Maybe you're alone in the kitchen on a rainy morning, savoring the solitude as you watch droplets slide down the garden window. Or maybe you're here with family or friends, gathered around a low table for a hot pot that warms everyone from the inside out. The space holds both energies equally well, the hush of solitude and the quiet hum of shared laughter and conversation. In this way, the kitchen becomes more than functional. It becomes emotional. It absorbs your habits, your memories, your small seasonal joys, the first chestnuts of the year roasted by the window, the sound of autumn rain tapping the roof while you pour another cup of tea. Over time, these moments stain the space in the best way, layering it with a kind of warmth that can't be bought or built in a day. And if you carry anything away from this hour together, let it be this: you don't need grand renovations to make your kitchen breathe with you. One small ritual, one natural material, one thoughtful shift in light or scent, these are how a sanctuary begins. And each season, you'll add to it. A branch here, a woven cloth there, a new bowl found at a local market. The design unfolds at the same pace as your days. So tonight, tomorrow, or next week, when you stand at your own kitchen counter, notice what feels too loud, the clutter, the glare, the noise. See what you can soften. Clear a shelf, light a candle, open a window to let the early autumn breeze slip in. Put your hands around a warm mug and stand still for a moment. Let that small warmth remind you that home isn't built by trends or rules, it's built by how you live inside it, one day at a time. Thank you for spending this time here with Charette Theory. We hope you carry this calm with you beyond the screen, into your kitchen, into your meals, into the hush of your own early autumn evenings. If this video brought you comfort or inspiration, share it with someone who might be craving that same quiet warmth right now. And when you're ready, join us again for another space, another season, another story about how design shapes not just what we see, but how we feel and how we live. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to Charette Theory, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Until next time, may your kitchen be warm, your days gentle, and your nights a soft place to rest.